This program do not reflect the company, owners, management, staff, clients, or partners.
It's Tuesday, the 9th day of March, 2021. Welcome to the Daily Hour, brought to you by Medical House One Communications and Lindo's. I'm Jamal Hartman, along with Carla Zool. Thanks for making us part of your daily routine. If you're watching online, share the link. If you're on Facebook, start a watch party. If you're on Twitter, retweet it. If you're watching on channel 82, call someone, let them know we're on. Just get the conversation out there to your network. And don't forget to like and engage with us. Another good one today, as Antwan Albuoy stops by to discuss the Egg Show. The Daily Play is a Remember When, and we're going to do a little bit Remember When. No, Remember When on Sunday, Oprah sat down with Harry Prince and not Margaret, what's her name? Megan, right?
Yes.
Yeah, Megan. So look. Here's the challenge I'm having. This guy, Piers Morgan. Piers, what is it?
Piers. I saw it live, Mal. Woo-hoo!
So he got walked off on the set. Talk to us about what happened on Good Morning Britain, Carla. You watched.
And I never watch Good Morning British TV ever in the morning. But something said turn it on, because I tell you it's gonna be hot today, because in the UK they shared the interview for the first time last night, right? So they were talking, and Alex, I can't even remember his last name. He was the weatherman, but he used to be a journalist. And he basically was like, you keep ragging on her. Apparently, Piers is supposed to be upset because Megan stopped talking to him, right? Mm-hmm. And so the gentleman, Alex, was like, she can stop talking to you if she wants to. It's her choice. So why do you continually bring her down and dog her out? Because he said, he didn't think that she was, he basically said he didn't feel like she was telling the truth about the mental part of it, right? And he just kept dogging her out. And so the guy was like, what you're doing is ridiculous. And then he just got frustrated and stormed off the set on his own show. So since which he came back on set, but then ITV CEO has been reached out to say, what are you doing about this? He did this in live TV. And what do you think the CEO said?
I have no idea.
Oh, we're dealing with it. No comment. So people out here in the UK are just here for it. But then real quick, Meghan Markle's dad does a live interview. Oh my goodness. If he was my daddy, he would not be my daddy anymore. And you have to catch it. I'm sure it's on YouTube by now, but here's what the daddy said. Oh, the question about what's the shade of Archie. I don't think it was racist. It was probably just someone asking. I would like to hope it was someone asking a silly question. But then he said, Britain is not racist. California and LA is racist.
Mm. Well, I mean,
I'm worked up, you know.
I was just waiting for the fallout over in the UK and to see, because once, on the news in the US last night, they spoke about, it hasn't aired in the UK as of yet. It'll be airing yesterday evening. And so I just wanted to see how the reactions would be over there and how they're split. So it's interesting. Her father, who probably is probably not that well. I don't know. I'm just making an assumption and judgment. Probably doesn't understand racism, because let's be honest, he's a white man, correct?
That's what I thought too. I was like, different lands.
I don't. Yeah, he doesn't. He probably wouldn't have a great perspective and understanding from our perspective. But saying that is, anyone who follows football, which is a way so many young men learn geography and different things around the world. But if you realize the racism that has been plaguing international football in England, in Europe, period, it's no way that anyone can say that it doesn't exist. Someone made a joke after the Meghan Markle, Harry, Prince, and Oprah conversation that they'll blame Raheem Sterling for this as well. And if you know about Raheem Sterling, he's a Jamaican-born English footballer, and the British press just don't lay off this guy. I mean, they are on him every second. I mean, he, from the tattoo that he got with a gun pointing down, it's like, Piers Morgan, one of the people criticizing him as well. Don't give these guys any breaks. And you don't even understand the explanation of why he got it. It had something to do with his father being gunned down. So the way the British press has treated Black people, this is no surprise. If anyone follows news and beyond their scope. It's nothing surprising to me.
When Meghan Markle was there, said, "Oh, the British aren't racist," right? And I have to say this as you can see, very chocolatey woman living in the UK. The UK is racist. However, I think that it's unfair to broad brush everyone, but I think to deny that it's a racist country is really ignorant. And again, he's over there, but so many people.
What do you mean by broad brush everyone?
I don't think that all white people are racist. I don't.
Well, that's not racism, though. You're again, if we're going to have this conversation, we need to understand and speak to what racism is. Racism is a construct, it's systemic. So this is not about people being discriminatory. That's not racism. Racist is the very structure and everything that this system is built on, the royal family. So it's not about every white person being racist. Every white person doesn't have an advantage. Well, they have an advantage over Black people, but they don't have that advantage, the same economic advantage as a Steve Jobs. But racism, yeah, every white person does have some privilege or benefit from racism. It's simply
right.
They have skin color. So no, it's a difference between racism and discrimination. Maybe every white person's not doesn't discriminate or isn't discriminatory, but they certainly do have a privilege, whether they benefited from it or not. Now that's the difference.
That's a different story,
right? Whether they benefited from it or not, that's the difference. But every white person does have that privilege that we would never have. Let's just be clear.
Yeah, I got that. But what I meant was, I'm not going to look at every white British person and judge them automatic like people may do any of us because we're Black. I just don't do that, right? But it was just it's mind-blowing. And then even during the interview with Markle's dad, Piers still goes, "Oh, it's amazing how she talks about you talking to the press when they're doing the same thing to benefit off of lots and lots of money." And I'm just like, this man just blows my mind. I wanted to run down to Media City and throw a rock through the window. Like, he's annoying.
Media City, that's where the show is?
Yeah, like literally maybe 2 miles from my house. So I was just like, geez, it doesn't stop. I can't wait. I'm excited today.
I thought the show was aired in London. It's from up north.
Media City, well, BBC headquarters is just around the corner from where I'm located. So yeah.
Good to know. Gotta move on though. Burger King. Anybody hear about Burger King yesterday?
They had a Whopper.
Well, I like that. Ding. Hold on. I gotta give you a bump for that one. That was your best one yet. Oh man, we're give a bomb for that, folks. That was pretty good. So yeah, they had a Whopper according to Carla yesterday, and
messaging is everything.
Well, for those who don't know, let's just give a background on what happened with Burger King. So Burger King pretty much got some backlash yesterday for a tweet that said, "Women belong in the kitchen." Right? Now, that's the tweet. Obviously, there's more to it. Right? Basically, they were trying to be, what's the word I'm looking for? Not smart, but they were trying to,
They're trying to be flirty. They were trying to be ambiguous, I think. they're trying to be flirty with words. Is what they were trying to
Yeah,
do.
and it backfired. Now they got some backlash, but the overall purpose was what they were trying to do was let people know of this scholarship program because there's a lack of women chefs, right? There's a lack of women chefs, and so it was a bigger message behind it. But I guess the concern, and this is where the audience comes in. Do you think in 2021 this was okay? Because let's be honest, the way Twitter works is people, if the first tweet don't hit, they ain't reading the rest of your thread, correct? Would you agree?
Right.
So if that's the tweet that they see, then I'm not quite sure that your PR and marketing was all that good. But I mean, what are your thoughts on it, Carla? You loved it?
When I read see, this is the thing about messaging and context, right? They basically, it was a whole series of tweets, but they shared this first one. And what made me laugh is that when people were saying like, this is trash, they would still answer with something quirky that to me was only making it worse. I knew once you read the whole thing, you know they meant no harm and they were trying to be playful with words. I'm saying flirty, but playful with words. And they should have just taken the L when it backfired. I would have just removed the whole thing and pretended that the tweet didn't exist. But I just think they kept digging themselves further and further into the hole. It was funny.
Yeah, James Burt says, and they kept doubling down on it as well. Elizabeth, Burger King really thought they did something with that one. But here's the thing, right? Don't you wonder when stuff like this happens? Someone said to me on the side, that's like, any bets no women were in that room to make that decision? Like, it goes back to, you wonder who's in these rooms making the decisions. Teresa says it was dry, British dry humor. And, you know, this is probably the best. Like, it was clickbait.
People clicked, all right.
Yeah, and as Teresa says, on International Women's Day, though, like, they missed the mark and they could have included some context. And, you know, in fairness, they did explain throughout their thread and try to get people, but I'm just not quite sure someone's going to remain employed after that one. I don't know.
What they should have done, see how they said women shouldn't be in the kitchen or whatever it said, and then they should have had another line underneath, and that would have set the tone. Because it, ironically, Teresa, it was for International Women's Day, so their intent was well-meaning. It's just the execution was not great.
Yeah. So here's some more context. It was a printed. And today headline said, women belong in the kitchen. Burger King today announced the launch of its HER, Helping Equalize Restaurant Scholarship, which offers financial assistance to women who work at Burger King and aspire to an academic degree in culinary arts. So you can catch that story on adweek.com. It was very, I can see how opinions would vary, but I think they as Carla said, they got to take an L with that. They have to take an L with that. I'm going back to Meghan Markle and Harry Prince. Kathy Bromby says Piers was jilted by Meghan. She left a meeting with Piers to go and meet Harry. So
that I even feel that was bizarre, because it's not like she was having an affair with him. Like, he's acting like a jilted ex-boyfriend. You know, if how many times have we on your phone, Jamal, and you say, look, I gotta go, I gotta take this call, or vice versa, and then I'm gonna be jilted after that? Like, his sense of entitlement in itself is ridiculous. I wouldn't even want a friend like that.
Well, Carla don't want to be your friend, Paris. I'm still looking to see what, you know, the response from Buckingham Palace with that. I definitely want to hear what they have to say.
That was the other thing they talked about a few minutes ago, saying that it's been I was gonna say castle, what's it called? The palace has been ominously quiet. And like I said to someone, what could they say? You know, they said the Queen's being very, very careful with the statement. And to me, in itself, if you're gonna take long, the longer you take to make a statement, the more it validates the perception of who you are. And what could they say? What are they gonna say? I bet you £5 they're gonna say, we're sorry they feel this way. We love them. and they know they'll always welcome her. Something
Mm,
like that.
mm. Well, Teresa says the palace isn't going to say anything. Robert Durham says exactly why his show on CNN was canceled. Remember, he did replace Larry King, and I remember he took some heat earlier this year. Larry King passed in January, right? If I'm not mistaken.
He just passed, yeah.
Yeah, I think Piers Morgan might have said something controversial after Larry King's death, and people went at him and whatnot.
But you know, before that, he was into print, and he faked a picture.
News of the World controversy. I'm glad you brought that up, but that's another reason people don't find him credible, because of the whole News of the World scandal and so on. I just, the media plays a very important role in the thoughts of a community and society, and there's responsibility that comes with it. Whether or not people take that responsibility is on the organization and themselves, but I just don't know if it's necessarily right to involve personality when you're in a spot like what he's in. I'd like to say some things about certain people on this show, but it's not about me. That said, let's go to a news break, and then don't forget we have Antwan Albuoy coming on to speak about the egg show. Now, Carla, the egg show. I just remember the smell of cotton candy and the pig mud.
Exhibition was always, is what we called it when we were growing up, is when cotton candy seemed like back then the only time of year that you got to eat cotton candy was at the egg show. It was like a novelty. I could just taste it.
Yeah, it made me think of Garlic Fest. I'll talk to you about Garlic Fest when we come back. We got some news to break. Go ahead.
The Bermuda Police Service is seeking the public's assistance in locating the suspect involved in a hit-and-run road traffic collision which occurred in Pembroke just before 9:30 p.m. on Sunday. Several 911 calls reported that a female who sustained multiple injuries was found lying on the roadway near to a motorcycle at the junction of Bishop Spencer and Palmetto Roads around that time. She was reportedly conscious but unable to stand. Reports are the victim was riding a black Yamaha Mio motorcycle west along Palmetto Road. As she approached the junction with Bishop Spencer Road, she was struck by an unknown silver Suzuki Swift motor car that was attempting to turn right onto Palmetto Road. The driver is said to have then pulled into the bus lay-by just east of the junction on Palmetto Road, briefly exited the vehicle before leaving the scene. Our teeth and their condition have most always been a sign of how we are living our lives. The ability to eat a good diet and have a nice smile requires us to have our teeth in good working order. Missing teeth can impair speech and make one seem older than they are. Who wants to feel old when they are still young and ready to conquer the world? Dental health and hygiene at different points in history were a sign of one's wealth and power in society. Today is Fake Teeth Day. Use the day as a reminder to pay your dentist a visit. The temperature in Bermuda is expected to reach a high of 63. Atlanta, Georgia will see a high of 69, and Bristol, UK, a high of 52. That's your Daily Hour news break.
All righty. What you smiling at, Carla? I missed something.
Should share my teeth. For real.
Oh, you brushed them this morning. That's a good thing. Look, we're gonna come back, take a quick break because she's a silly.
I'm on one today.
Come back with Antwan Albuoy and take the conversation up a level. Stick with us.
Good day, Medical House Doris speaking. Can I help you?
Medical House is Bermuda's leading one-stop shop for healthcare.
I found myself being a caregiver. Even though I was a nurse, I still needed help on, what was available in hospital beds and all that kind of equipment, and I knew where to go. I went to Medical House.
Bermuda's top doctors, dentists, care homes, and the hospital choose Medical House for a wide range of products. These same professional quality products are available to you for home health care.
I was very pleased with Medical House. and the help they gave me when I most needed it.
Your experience with Medical House is about getting your needs met, but we also try to provide knowledge to help you through whatever you're experiencing.
Medical House is on Millreach Lane in Pembroke, where there's private parking right outside the door.
I would recommend them to anybody.
Call or visit Medical House today.
This month, we're featuring a range of infant and baby care products from Hello Bello, a company started up by a husband and wife team who were inspired to meet the challenges arising from the often surprising, not to mention messy experiences that came with the territory known as parenting. The couple behind Hello Bello know that being a parent is uniquely demanding, and their mission is to bring you premium products at gentle prices. Try Hello Bello Alpha diapers in a range of sizes, Alpha Blossom baby lotion, baby powder, and much more. Lindo's, why go anyplace else?
All right, welcome back to the big show. Carla Zul, Jamal Hartman. It's the Daily Hour brought to you by Medical House, One Communications, Lindo's, and our friends over at Channel 82, where you can also watch this and many other locally produced shows if you have One Communications cable. Well, I just mentioned, Carla, last week, well, not last, yeah, it is that. Well, this past weekend, we went to Garlic Fest. And
sounds heavenly.
Here's the problem with Garlic Fest, right? And why it reminds me of, it's not the problem that reminds me of the agriculture exhibition, but the problem is, I'm a guy that loves raw onions and garlic. And these days, it's probably not in my best interest because I have to wear a mask, right? And so it was challenging. It was challenging, but I had some garlic stuff. We had I can't tell you on air what we had, but we had some garlic stuff.
Why? I want to know. Just tell me. It's just old foods that are enhanced with garlic, or is it like crushed garlic, whole garlic?
It's basically foods like with garlic. So you might have garlic, what's it called? Scampi, garlic jerk chicken, garlic shish kebabs, garlic bacon, candied bacon. I mean, it was everything had garlic in it, garlic fried. It was, but the atmosphere just reminded me so much of the agriculture exhibition. And I know that in our childhood, it's one of those pastimes. It's something that, we looked forward to. It was a fashion show for many of us, right? It was the lead up to Bermuda Day.
Did they have garlic cotton candy?
My wife's watching. She's probably going to get in the comments. She was looking for cotton candy all day.
Really?
That was the one thing she couldn't find. Yeah, she's probably like, man. But yeah, we couldn't find the cotton candy. We saw people with it, but we didn't find it. And by the time we thought to ask someone, we didn't see anyone with it anymore. But let's bring in Antwan. This isn't about us and our cotton candy fetish. This is about the egg show. Let's bring Antwan into the show. Welcome to the show, sir.
Good morning. Thank you.
See how we've got you here, and we're just getting into our cotton candy. Well, Carla's cotton candy fetish. Her thing. She wants cotton candy, but everybody has these memories of the egg show, what it traditionally was at one point. But because the egg show, it does have a long history, and it has been met with some challenges in recent years. And I remember, if I'm not mistaken, over the last 5 years, it's been taken over. But speak to us about why the egg show is so important, why this tradition is so important for us to maintain in Bermuda.
Good morning to your listening and watching audience. To answer your question, the egg show is important because, well, the title of the event is the Bermuda Agricultural Show. A lot of we get a lot of locals and farmers and sort of what you call these people, weekend farmers, whatever you want to call them. They show their exhibits. Some school children, they show their plants, their vegetables, whatever they've been growing over the months, the years, whatnot. So the agricultural show it showcases what Bermudians are able to grow. With vegetables and everything, but it has sort of grown from that to where it's now is plants, is flowers, is fauna, is various exhibits throughout the show, throughout the 3-day event. So it is a history, is a historical sort of combination of Bermuda's gardeners and pending gardeners, whatnot.
I love it. I love it. I wonder if Carla ever donated any candy to be judged or something.
I swear we have the same brain. I was going to say to you afterwards, do you know that I won second place for what? Tell me how well you know me. What did I make
Cotton
that came
candy.
second place?
Glass
Close.
candy.
Glass candy.
That's what I meant. Glass candy. I said cotton candy. I did say cotton candy. See that you got my mind on it, but I knew you made glass candy. But so you got second place?
When was
Second
this?
place.
Yeah,
When was this?
It had to be maybe 2015. It was like the year before it became private. So like around 2015, I won second place, and my daughter won third place for something else I made and put her name on it.
I want to say congratulations to you, Carla, but just using football terms, nobody remembers who comes second. They only remember the champions.
It's all right. I was so excited. I was excited.
But congratulations, and that is, go ahead, Antwan.
One correction, Carla. The egg show is not private.
Okay, so explain that, because I know. Explain that then. My apologies.
Okay,
Wrong terminology.
Yes, I forgive you. I think it was, gosh, what's this? 2021, 2015. I think it was. There was some issue, and with the government running the egg. I think it was a storm. Something I forget. I can't remember what happened, but I know the budget. The then OBA government, they decided to cancel the egg show for budgetary reasons, and then a group of individuals who didn't know each other sort of got together somehow, and we decided to form a PPE with Bermuda government to continue the egg show. Unfortunately, for various reasons, the 2015 show didn't take place. It started up. We started planning it from 2016. So from 2016 up to now, it's been a public-private partnership with Egg Show Limited and the Bermuda government.
Okay, so all right, that leads me into my question. So it is partially government funded, kind of like basically a Krengo.
It's not government funded at all. Government doesn't give us no.
Right, it's just a partnership.
It's a partnership, whereas government provides the sort of the know-how as far as, well, the gardens is government property. So they prepare the grounds, the buildings, the grounds, whatnot, in preparation for the egg show. And some wax and engineering, and mainly the plumbers and the electricians, they will prepare the electrical, the area for the stalls to plug into. They provide the electrical outlets and whatnot, and parks. They do various things leading up to the egg show, and some of the parks employees do the park and whatnot. But it's not funded by government per se. Like, we didn't get any money from government. All the money that to put on the egg show comes from sponsors, from private sponsors. Okay,
so all right, we've gone through why the egg show is important, and now the egg show is no longer government funded. You do get private sponsors, but how does the organization, now a registered charity, go about getting these sponsors? Like, what's the process? Because there are people watching who really love the egg show and might want to be a part of it.
We have a sort of fundraising. There's different sort of departments of the Egg Show Limited committee. There's the vendors, there's the volunteers, there's the education, and then there's fundraising. So we have an individual who reaches out to various companies, local and international, and say, hey, we're putting on the egg show for this year. This is our different levels of sponsorship. Would you be interested in being a sponsor? This is a good segue for me to say that, ever since 2016, since we've taken over the running of the egg show, the planning of the egg show, that Access Capital has been the lead sponsor from day one. They have been, phenomenal as far as being a sponsor, and we have a lot of other few sponsors as well. Over the years, we've had Bank of Butterfield, HSBC, Chubb, Linda's is always there from every time. For every year, Linda's is one of the other sponsors that have been there for the past, since 2016. But yeah, we have someone who will reach out like around October, November, the fundraising person will reach out to various companies and ask, do they want to be a sponsor for the upcoming egg show?
Got it.
Now, in my lifetime, I only recall there not being an exhibition maybe once, right? Now, COVID came and has turned everything upside down. So this year, the exhibition is going to be virtual. Very interesting. I'm really intrigued by this. So, of course, the experience is going to be different, but what can people expect with it being virtual this year?
That's a good question. I don't know. It's going to be interesting. Like you said, it's going to be whereas no one typically the week of the egg show, like on the Monday, Tuesday, because the egg show is always on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. So on the Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday and Friday morning, the exhibitors, the public, they will bring their exhibits to go and place in the various buildings that they're going to be judged in. So that normally takes place. For this year, we're only accepting exhibits on Wednesday and Thursday, and the egg show, the exhibits will be judged. I'm sorry, we accept them all day Wednesday from 9 to 7 on Wednesday and Thursday, and on Friday we're accepting exhibits, I believe it's 6:30 to 9. And then the judging will take place on the Friday. But this year is going to be different, whereas for Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, it's going to be like a drive-through sort of drop-off where everyone would be asked to enter the Botanical Gardens via South Shore by the Priest Lutheran Church entrance, come through there, and then we have traffic marshals throughout the grounds, throughout that road, directing people where to go. And then we will have volunteers. Oh, that reminds me. We might talk about volunteers later on. We will have volunteers to take your exhibits from your vehicle and take them into the various buildings. You will not have to get out of your vehicle. There may be a challenge for those individuals who are entering roses and whatnot, but for everyone else, we will have volunteers at the various buildings to take your exhibit from your vehicle and put them into the building. You will not have to, we don't want you to get out of the car. Again, due to COVID, all our volunteers, we have the COVID, the mask, the gloves and whatnot. We will have hand sanitizer on hand, but it's drive through, drop off, and leave. You don't have to get out of your car, out of your vehicle.
Right, but I mean for participants. So I'm excited it's virtual because, as you know, I'm in the UK, so I can go on to the Facebook page and I can look. But my question is are you going to have a host? Is someone going to be walking around with a camera and saying, look at like you just said, the roses, look at this chubby little pig, look at the cows, what have you? How is it going to work?
Yes and no. That's going to be take place. However, it won't be live. We try to get CITV to do sort of a live broadcast, but unfortunately they can't do it. So we're gonna hire a media company to go out to various buildings, record footage of some judging taking place, and just going through and showing some of the exhibits in the education building, in the horticultural hall building, in the various buildings, the chickens and whatnot. So it will be recorded, but it won't be broadcast live. And then I believe on channel 82 will be rebroadcast, and I think on CITV agreed to rebroadcast on their channel, and you'll also be able to watch it rebroadcast on our Facebook page. But it won't be broadcast where it'll be live.
If you have a media company already, we've got Crimson Multimedia Channel 82 out there. They know how to do the work better than anyone in Bermuda. Go ahead, Carla.
Okay, well, that's good to know. So for those who, first of all, because I'm a bit detached in this way, has the deadline passed for entries? And if not, when is the deadline and what categories can people enter in?
The deadline has not passed. The deadline is this Friday, March 12th. That's for all exhibits except the artwork. The artwork deadline, I believe, is March 26th. Yeah, I think it's March 26th for the artwork deadline, but all other deadlines for all other exhibits is this Friday, March 12th. The way to enter your exhibits, if you go to our webpage, which is www.bermudaexhibition.com, go to the top right, you'll see a link there that says catalog. You click on that. you can download the catalog, or you can download the entry forms. For those parents or caregivers who have more than one child, you can enter your children or the people you're responsible for on one spreadsheet. You don't have to have a separate spreadsheet for each child. Now, there has been some sort of challenge for some people to download the entry forms, particularly the schools. Our entry forms, you can download them, but in some cases, in some schools, your IT may have blocked sort of your pop-up feature. So therefore, when you click on the entry form, nothing happens. That has to do with your IT putting a block on the website address. All that needs to be done is the actual IT person to add BermudaExhibition.com to the whitelist. In some cases, the person who's clicking on the form, it does download to your computer, but some people don't know where to look for it. In most cases, I'm not familiar with a PC, but I know with a Mac, it downloads to your download folder or wherever you designate your files to be downloaded. But it's a very simple process. It does work. But yeah, go to our website address, go to our website, click on your catalog, download the entry forms, and then on the Excel sheet, the entry form, there will be an address, an email address to send it back to, and that is entries@BermudaExhibition.com. So send that in by this Friday, March 12th.
But what are the categories?
We have not, well, all categories except the equestrian. We're still doing the chickens, still doing the rabbits and cavies and whatnot, still doing baked goods, not on baked goods, we're not doing tasting. Anything that has to be tasted, we're not doing that. It's only decorations. So for baked goods like cakes and cupcakes, whatnot, that's fine. But anything that you bake that has to be tasted, we're not doing that for COVID reasons. But there's for the children, there's lunchbox. There's still the there's the square foot garden. There's the miniature garden. Pretty much doing all the categories except baked goods. It's got to be tasted. No equestrians. I think everything except and no florals. For no floral exhibits. For this year, it's the Garden Club's 100th anniversary, so they're doing something special for their division. So there'll be no entries for the floral arrangements.
Now, you said, for those who've just tuned in, that it's not going to be live, but it's going to be on different channels. What is the name of the Facebook page?
You know what? I don't remember. I've been off of Facebook for the past year and a half. I think it's, I don't know. I think it's Egg Show or Egg Show Bermuda, Egg Limited, Egg Show. I don't remember. I'm embarrassed to say that. I don't remember. I've been on Facebook. Yeah, I forget. I'm sorry.
No problem. I think we have. I was on the website last night. Egg Show, but we can share that information with people definitely. Look. Traditionally, as Carla and I were mentioning earlier, the Egg Show was something, some of us got our, summer started at the Egg Show, first fashion show of the year, went down there, eating our cotton candy to the smell of the pigs and so on. So it is some tradition. That's what it was.
It's so true, though. I could smell the pigsty as you speak. Yeah. It's like that smell.
Yeah, it's like you almost look
forward to and smell the pigs.
But I just remember when the Egg Show was in jeopardy and the group came along, I was one of those people who was grateful to see that, because it was the only time of year that someone like me got to see a real pig in real life, right?
Alive.
Yeah, alive, right? And not in a plate. So I think that it was important to realize for, me, that these animals really do exist, that they are real. And so hopefully what you guys doing, like, people continue to support it. If all goes well virtually this year, would it be something that even when crowds are allowed back at events in Bermuda and gatherings, would it be something to still consider for those who may not be comfortable or may not be able? I think over the last year with all that's going on, the game has truly changed, and we found ways to get people who can't make it out involved and able to enjoy things. Would it be something that you're looking at this year to continue if it goes well, even though you may go back to the live event?
I don't know. I can't speak for the community as a whole, but I don't know. For me, I hear what you're saying about for those people who can't get out. Well, in the past, other than last year, but in the past, for those individuals who couldn't get out, we had a young lady, Diane Carlson. She would have a radio broadcast. So it was on the radio for those people who couldn't get out, but it was not where it was recorded and later rebroadcast. Will that happen next year? I don't know. I can't say that right now. That's a whole year away. I'm looking towards this year right now. Focus on this year right now.
I think it would be awesome. And from the nostalgia, I mean, the exhibition, whether you're 35, 25, or 75, it's played a part in most people's history, you know. So I think it'll be awesome for the visual part, because especially for the seniors or those who may not be able, who live overseas, that would still want to have that experience. So something to think about.
Yeah, something to think about. Once this year is over, right now, even though there's no one going to be on the grounds, there's still a lot of planning that I have to do for it, that the committee has to do for it. So right now, my focus is on 2021 Egg Show and making this a success. That it's just new charter waters that no one's been in. It's different, and I wouldn't say that it's less stress, but it's probably still stressful. Doing the planning and whatnot, but you know, it's something that I enjoy doing. I'm looking forward to having a successful year for this year. Before I forget, volunteers. We need volunteers. As I mentioned, the volunteers will assist the exhibitors who drop off the exhibits. We need volunteers, about 4 to 5 volunteers per building, and by 2-hour shifts. I know that some events are not taking place, won't take place for the next few months. Haven't taken place for the next few months. So, particularly, I know M3 and some senior secondary school students need community hours to graduate or move to the next level, whatnot. We need some volunteers for, if your company gives you a charity day, you know, we'll be happy to have you help with the exhibits. Again, it's Wednesday and Thursday and Friday morning for drop off, and then for collection. Now, I forgot to talk about collection. For the drop off, we will have volunteers to assist you with putting your exhibits in the buildings. But for collection, it's going to be difficult for a volunteer to know, okay, well, this plant belongs to Carl, or this kite belongs to Jamal. So therefore, for collection, we will allow you to come to the grounds, park your car, and go to whatever building to collect your exhibit. You will have to have your mask. Like I said, we have plenty of hand sanitizer on hand. There will be the 6 feet spacing to line up to go into the building. We have the gloves and whatnot. But for drop off, we'll have volunteers to assist. But for collection, which is on Saturday from 9 to 5, I think it is, and Sunday from 9 to 12. You can come and collect your own exhibits. But again, we need volunteers. For those of you who want to volunteer, you can email me at info@bermudaexhibition.com. That's info@Bermuda, spelled out at bermudaexhibition.com, for those of you who want to volunteer. Again, it's only 2-hour shifts. I mean, you can do as long as you want, but we're looking for a 2-hour shift for Wednesday, Thursday, and Saturday.
Got some questions from the audience. Rosalind Famous asking, are there opportunities for small business owners to sponsor the Egg Show?
Well, of course, most definitely. We don't turn down money. Yes. For those individuals who want to sponsor, or those small companies who want to sponsor, again, same email address, info@bermudaexhibition.com, info@bermudaexhibition.com. And one thing I want to point out is, I think you touched on it earlier, Jamal, about charities. Is it Jamal or Jamal?
No, it's definitely Jamal.
Jamal, okay.
He's trying to get eaten up today.
For those of you who don't know, in order to be a food vendor at the Egg Show, you must team up with a charity. Because some charities don't have the know-how, the equipment, or the manpower to run a food store. But first and foremost, the charities come first in our sort of hierarchy. So if a charity is able to does have the know-how, the equipment, and the manpower to run a food store, well, then they get first pick. For those charities that don't, you must team up with a commercial vendor must team up with a charity. So charities for the Egg Show is probably one of the biggest, the largest, the most profitable venues that some charities have for fundraising. And it's been last year the Egg Show was canceled. This year is semi-canceled, but we're not having any vendors this year. So for 2 years, some charities that depend on the income raised from the Egg Show, from the food stores, they're not getting that income. So I would encourage the public to, where possible, to still patronize those charities that help the food stores, patronize those charities that help Bermudians throughout in the public. We have a list of charities on our website. It's on the very front page. They will show you the charities and whatever vendor team up with them from 2019. Mm-hmm. So, charities still need help, still need assistance. It's just unfortunate that because of COVID-19, last year and this year, there's no vendors, no food stores for charities to make money.
All right. One final question before we let you go. Rashida Godwin asks, when were Black people first allowed to go to the exhibition?
Are you serious? Next question.
Well, I mean, that's an important question, and especially with our audience. I'm not sure if you were.
I probably wasn't alive. I mean, it could be an important question, but is that relevant right now?
Yeah, I think it is relevant. And one thing we don't do is ignore the audience. And the reason I asked that question and we screen it is she's literally asking when were Black people first allowed to go to the exhibition. That's it. Now,
I don't know. I don't know.
I guess the point of her question and asking that is, what is the component? Bermuda is majority Black. Is there a component of Black history or traditions that have been added over the years? Will it evolve to that? I don't know the purpose of her question, but knowing what she does, maybe she's trying to be involved with it, but I wouldn't dismiss it as if is that serious. I mean, we don't treat questions like that unless they're extremely disrespectful on this platform.
Okay, I'll apologize for my response, but I don't know. I don't know. But I will say that for the school exhibits, the majority of, I would say probably about 70% of the school exhibits, maybe more, maybe less, is from public schools. Public schools are primarily Black children. Black farmers participate in the Egg Show. They've been doing that for years. There is Black equestrians. I don't know the answer to that question, but
speaking of the equestrians, and you did mention, I believe, that wouldn't take place, but that was another favorite of many people because it was the only time a lot of us got to actually see, like, the horses jumping and stuff that you would see on the Olympics. So that is a huge miss as well. That shouldn't be mistaken. And I know quite a few people who have done that. One who lives near me out here in Florida. Yeah. Antwan, anything you want to leave the audience with? Obviously, you've got some sign up dates. Nicole Walker was nice enough to share the link, facebook.com/eggshowbda. The website you've shared, and anything you want to make sure people remember before you head out.
Participate. Have your we get a big response from the schools. These school children look forward to the Egg Show. We get preschool up to high school. I don't want to sound biased, but there's always a competition between Berkeley and unofficial competition between the Berkeley Institute and Cedar Bridge with the cake decoration. That's always a fun thing to do. Cedar Bridge does an excellent job. So does Berkeley. So it's the school children look forward to the Egg Show from all age groups. So have your child or children participate is a long-standing Bermudian tradition with the Egg Show. I shouldn't say this, but when I grew up in Devonshire, which is in Prospect, which is probably a 15-minute walk from Botanical Gardens. And I recall, you guys mentioned your memories you have, but I recall when I was younger, I always got in free to the Egg Show because from my neighborhood, we knew how to get in free. We jumped the wall and walked through. But that's a tradition that I remember big. Yeah. And then there was always, I remember a bull. There was a pan for bulls right by the Jack King building. I believe there was a bull there. We all used to see the bull, and the peaks. The peaks is always a draw, an attraction. But yeah, have your children, enter. Is going on. We love to have your exhibits, and next year we will be back to normal. So that's it.
All right, Antwan Albuoy, thanks so much, folks. Don't forget to visit the Egg Show's website on Facebook as well. Let's get this show going. We might not get to smell the pigs, but we'll get to see them. Thanks again. Antwan, we'll be in touch. Thanks again.
I'm afraid to. Never mind. Yeah, okay, no problem. Thanks.
All right, we're going to take a quick break, and then we'll be back to close it out. We have a daily play. Do not leave us. This is some important history. Hint, it's Bermuda history. So, Carla, don't do this to us. All right.
I need your help.
Carla's going to give us some inspiration after this as well. Stick with us.
Hi, Bermuda. Now that we have covered the difference between internet and Wi-Fi and introduced you to our One Home Wi-Fi solution, we want to show you some of the amazing features it has to offer besides ensuring Wi-Fi coverage in and around your home. Our Eero devices are plug and play, making them super easy to install. They come with features to help you monitor the internet connections and speed tests from the palm of your hand, and health checks to let you know the status of your internet connection. Now, for the parents out there, I'm going to let you in on a little secret. With the Eero app, you can create profiles for each of your kids and pause their internet access no matter where you are. Kids not doing their homework? Or is it family dinner time? No problem. Just press pause. You can also say goodbye to that sticky note with a Wi-Fi password. Grant access to Wi-Fi for guests and visitors, or remove extra devices from your Wi-Fi connection. Check us out at One today to sign up and gain full control of your internet experience.
All right, welcome back to the big show. She's Carla Azul. I'm Jamal Hartman. It's the Daily Hour. Thanks again to One Communications, Linda's Medical House, Channel 82. I feel like, is it Holly in the commercial?
Listen, yes, that's Holly. And I think like, she is the perfect person for that. I love it.
I feel like she's a co-host of the show, bringing the bubbly, right? So thanks again to our host, co-host Holly from One Communications. All right, so here we go. Daily play. If this is your first time watching, you know what time it is. Little Bermuda history. This question is so easy, and I am putting pressure on Carla by saying it's so easy. If she does not know the answer to this,
you don't know.
We think he should be suspended from answering a question for the next week. All right, here we go. Here's the easiest question she will get. Who was the first woman to lead a political party to victory in Bermuda? And what date was this feat accomplished?
Oh my gosh, don't answer, you people. It's one of two answers. Lead them to victory is the key word. So it is Dame Jennifer Smith. And it was the year I graduated university, 1998.
Okay. What's the actual date? That was the question, not the year.
November. I remember this day as clear as I want to say November 24th stands out, but no. November the 8th, something like that.
I think PLP people will be so disappointed in you.
November 7th? Oh. You know how long ago that was?
All right. Okay. So Dame Jennifer Smith.
Yes, got that right.
PLP, the first woman to lead the PLP, a political party, to victory on November 9th, 1998.
I'm still proud of my answer. 2 days off. I'm good.
And she did that. The first PLP leader, and only until David Burt, to lead them to a second victory on July 24th, 2003. Dame Jennifer Meredith Smith earned her place in Bermuda's history as the first progressive Labour Party premier after the 1998 victory, the first woman senator, and I believe the youngest at that time, and the first woman deputy speaker. She was also the first woman, as I said, to lead a political party to victory in Bermuda on
I
what
got
day?
it right. November the 9th, 1998. And do you also know she's a brilliant artist? Did you know that about Dame Jennifer? Hi, Dame.
I didn't quite care about that fact, but okay. Just being
I knew
honest.
something. I'm bragging on it. Hello.
But no, yeah, you got it right. She was definitely the first woman. Now we had a question on our social media that I want to answer today, and the question was, who was Bermuda's shortest tenured premier? Because we spoke about John Swan a couple weeks ago, and he was the longest, right, serving from 82 to 95. And a lot of people didn't know who this shortest was, and I was surprised by that.
Isn't it Pamela Gordon?
No.
If someone else would say Craig Cannoner.
Yes.
Okay.
And so I was, Dr. Saul and Pam Gordon's tenures were very short, but how can we not remember the shortest tenure when it was pretty much the most recent one, to Dunkley and Burt? I mean,
how long was it?
Cannoner was from December 2012 to May of 2014. Yeah, so he was, I want to say it was probably like 2 months difference between him and I believe it was it's either Gordon or Soul, but it was Craig Cannoner, the shortest tenured premier. Real quickly, before we get to some inspiration, on this day, did you know, Carla, that arguably one of Brooklyn's finest and arguably one of the greatest hip hop artists in the history of hip hop, Notorious B.I.G., was murdered in Los Angeles on March 9th, 1997. This is what gets me. He was only 24.
I was in uni. I remember like yesterday, him and Tupac in really close. And I was just like, what is going on? I remember it like yesterday.
March 9th, 1997, at only 24, Notorious B.I.G., Christopher Wallace, birth name, was murdered.
Biggie, can't you see?
Oh my goodness, what was that? All right, let's get some motivation. Give us something. What you got for us?
Success doesn't just find you. You have to go out and get it. And that's courtesy of success.com.
Yeah, you got to work for it, folks. It's not just going to come up on you. Let us know if you enjoyed today's show. Give us a thumbs up, a like, smash something, give us some reaction. Let's do a quick roll call before we head out. Where's everyone tuned in from?
Manchester, UK.
They must be so happy to have you. so happy to have you.
Love
Carl,
me.
really sounding old today. Oh, I didn't mean it like that. Let us know. So I'm chilling. I'm watching the show or participating in the show. I'm in South Florida. So folks, we have a great episode coming up later this week. We're going to be joined by Hazel Clark, a former Olympian, and we'll be speaking about her father's legacy. Her father was the late Joe Clark, who we lost earlier this year. Joe Clark is known for being the very strict principal at the school in Paterson, New Jersey. The movie Lean on Me, which I almost lost my black card, but finally watched a couple weeks ago. He is the subject of Lean on Me, which has Morgan Freeman. So Hazel Clark will be joining us later this week to speak about her father's legacy, Mr. Joe Clark. Carla, any final words on today's episode?
Yeah, the virtual egg show is going to be very interesting, and please participate. Let's keep, the traditions alive as much as we can in these challenging times.
Yep. Charlotte, North Carolina in the house. We got Bilbao, Spain. Union Street, aka Bacatan. Okay, she forgot that. Hamilton Parish, Bermuda. We got you, folks. Smiths, Bermuda. We got Portugal, Portsmouth, UK. Look, we love it. Thank you all, regardless of where you watch from. Thank you. Honestly, we appreciate you joining us. Thanks again to our partners, Medical House One Communications and Lindo's, for ensuring that we're able to do this with you. As always, we appreciate you no matter where you're watching from, how you're watching. We love you, and we thank you for making us part of your daily routine. If all goes well, we'll be back to do this again with you tomorrow. She's Carla Zool. I'm Jamal Hartman. My friends, make it a great day.